So we are starting with handstands. This is the most important skill in gymnastics. How I like to teach this, I like to start with a panel mat. I like using the panel mat like this because you can fold it out to where you can have 1 foot on the blue, 1 foot on the carpet, and your hands on an elevated surface in case the kids that are not very flexible here, they have an easier time reaching for the ground, right? Because if I don't have any mat or height assistance and I'm reaching all the way down, that's a big stretch on the hamstring. And so that's why we use panel mats. Like there's reason behind things, right? We shouldn't just be doing anything without knowing why. My favorite setup for panel mat would be good foot here. So we'll put good foot on top, and then we'll put our bad foot behind us. And so let's put it right in the middle there. And then we're gonna start in a good lunge with a bent knee, and then we'll go with a straight back leg. Now, Bella's used to her lunge, but we're gonna pretend like Bella is a rec kid. So, good lunge like this, we're gonna put our hands up here, and our good foot's gonna land right back in the middle, and our bad foot right behind us. So start with the L stand, and arms back up, boom. Good foot in the middle, bad foot behind us, in a good lunge, perfect. And when you land, that's where you can fix details here, right? And you can fix everything. And so now we'll go to a 3/4 handstand. You ready, kick up? So a 3/4 handstand would be like here, and now come down. And now we'll go to a full handstand, and all the way up, and come down. Now, and you can relax. So when you're teaching kids how to go from a hop handstand to an L to a 3/4 to a full, I always tell my athletes, treat it as a progression, go as high as you can, because you'll start to see kids kick up and start arching their back. And so can you do like a 3/4 handstand where you arch your back? Just don't fall over. Arch, arch, arch. And you'll see that, right? And so that's where I would say, all right, Bella, let's go a little lower. Give me an L stand, nice and straight. And some kids, you'll see that they'll be nice and straight at L stand, but then the second they tap their feet, they arch. And so that's where you need to kind of figure out what's going wrong. How can I spot this? And so here, I'll show you. Ready? Hop in your lunge. And so you can do an L stand. You can spot all your handstands this way, right? I can spot here. I can tap her feet if I'm teaching her how to do a 3/4, or I can help her get up to a full and find her balance, and then I can help her lunge out and lever and fix whatever details you need to. And that's just the panel mat. This is the panel mat way. It is the best way to teach a handstand. And then you can use this to say, hey, okay, let's say if you have 2 athletes, one of you guys can take turns on the panel mat and one of you guys can take turns on the floor right next to you. And so when progressing from the panel mat to, let's say, the floor, this is where I like to use a line. So good foot on the line, let's do a full handstand. Lunge, kick up, you have your full handstand, lever, lunge, finish. Good foot, boom, right back on the line. Now, do a handstand where your foot lands, it starts here and lands behind you. And I want you guys to see what happens. Yep, so foot's gonna be all the way behind. Oh, she's too good, I'm gonna demonstrate. It's okay, you're fine. So look what happens if my foot lands behind the line. I don't do the snap down part, right? So I'm gonna kick up. So I go to my full, and my foot goes right behind me. See how I had to climb my way up? And so that's why I like markers. And so that's why on the panel mat, I tell them foot in the middle. On the line, I go this way, so I can tell them foot in the middle. Because if I'm here, right, this whole line is technically the middle. And so that's how I would go about teaching a handstand from beginning to end. So always start smaller, tell your athletes to gradually grow, okay? So then they're not just kicking and flopping over. So hope that helps. All right, just some extra notes for handstands, and some of this can go for your cartwheel as well. This is specifically for your handstand, an even smaller progression than just like a tiny little hop handstand. Think smaller, think about it. You got it? Okay, cool, what can we do? Hopefully this is what you're thinking about. Feet together, arms up, jump, stand back up, right? And that's if you're seeing so much crazy stuff where they're falling over and just flopping around, go even smaller. Have them just go, like I said, feet together, ears covered. They jump, ears covered, right? And that's still working the handstand. And sometimes you'll see your athletes, they'll go here, they'll jump, and it's like, oh my gosh, what just happened? So sometimes I'll have them start, let's say either in the lunge or the feet together. I'll tell them, hey, put your arms up, stay nice and strong, and I'll push on their arms. And so if you see this, then I'm like, no, we need to tighten our arms. Do you have muscles? And they're always gonna be like, yes. And I'm like, okay, great, show me then. So I'm gonna tell them, squeeze your arms, and I'm gonna push until their arms stop bending. And also, an extra side note, if they're doing cartwheels, let's say you're teaching 1 week handstands, maybe the next week they're doing cartwheels, but you notice that they do a handstand with one leg and a cartwheel with the other. Make sure you go back, go to the handstand, and tell them to switch their legs to their good leg. Again, their good leg is the cartwheel leg, the round off leg. You don't want athletes switching their feet for different things. It creates some problems later on. This goes for the handstand and the cartwheel. They should not be slapping the mat. I don't want to see a handstand where they start like this, or even here. Start forward. Anytime I've seen an athlete start like this, they always slap the mat. So have them lean forward, bend the front leg, right? They're gonna lever, and then they're going to go slow. They should not go down. And I don't want to hear the mat. I don't want to hear it. It should be gentle hands, powerful legs, right? They lever, they push, they kick up, they lever, back out. Look at that. Again, gentle on the mat. Same thing with the cartwheel. I don't want to see them go here and just poof, flop right down. Anytime that they slap the mat, they're usually pulling their hands in too close. Where their hands should be is they're almost like lever distance, right? Not right in front of their foot. That's another thing too. Make sure their hands are not right in front of their feet. Should be a little bit of ways. Like a seesaw, y'all, like a seesaw. Last thing, with the handstand and a cartwheel, if you're having trouble being like, what's going wrong? Why is my athlete like falling over at the end of their cartwheel or their handstand? Look at their back leg, right? And so if I'm doing my handstand and I see my athlete kicking up, but then they're coming down, and this back leg is, right, look at that, I can't even stand up. It's pulling them sideways. They need to kick up to square and come back to square, right? Hips should be square. Same thing in their cartwheel. They should be doing a cartwheel and landing square, not open, okay?